And I saw the 1, 3, 2, 1 countdown, so I think we might be live. Hey, it's hot here. You know, one of the things about living in Michigan, all winter we complain that it's too cold and we can't wait for summer. And then all summer we complain that it's too hot and we can't wait for winter. The reality is Michigan is unlike this multiple personality type spectrum where it's the extreme in either direction. And summer has come early here with temperatures already in the mid 90s and humidity. I don't even want to know. So it's hot. And I want to give you a little bit of a heads up before we get too far into this. Summer vacation, kids are home, and a very sweet friend of ours who attends school with my children is visiting today. So you may hear some noise in the background. I kind of encouraged them to eat lunch because I thought that would keep them from running up and down the stairs. I like to hear happiness in the house. So even if it's loud, yay for happiness in my home. How are you? I wasn't in a good place this time last week, or the day after, or Sunday morning, fighting tears during my Sunday school class because this is hard and it feels isolating and lonely. And after an event, an episode maybe is a better word, the devil is really good at making me aware of my mistakes, my failings in the situation. And that just makes it that much harder because my heart not only breaks for the child who is tantruming, it makes it that much harder for me to connect well because I become fearful that I'm going to be the trigger of the next whatever you want to call it, thing. It was not good. It was frightening. It was painful. I was injured in the process. Welcome to Trauma Life, I guess. I just want to say something to you guys. Is that a surprise? No, but I always have more to say than what the chapter says. But today, June 10, oh, this is the 9th. Tomorrow's the 10th. That's interesting. I guess I messed that up. Okay, tomorrow, June 10, is what we would call our gotcha day. I'm really sorry and distracted by the sudden confusion. Wow, so that means I'm a day ahead in my morning devotions because I did June 10 today. Okay, I'll stop now. All right, June 10, actually tomorrow, is what we call Gotcha Day. And 7 years ago, tomorrow, my children packed up their lives of a little over 2 years in foster care to a not very safe place. And they packed up their lives, which was really not much. Some junk, nothing really that they owned except some, I think, handmade blankets from Birth Mom, which those are treasures that they will have forever because she still gave birth to them. She gave them life. And I believe that she loves them and just didn't have the resources that she needed. So I never badmouth Birth Mom. Kids struggle enough filling in their own blanks. So I don't. Anyway, point being, they moved in with us 7 years ago on June 10 and started our 6 months of supervision with social worker. And we have called this Gotcha Day. And every year, to the best of our ability on June 10, we have done something fun as a family. Sometimes my husband takes the day off from work. Sometimes we wait until evening. Sometimes it's not a big, blowout kind of thing. Like we've gone bowling before, but we've also just purchased a movie. My husband likes to say that the movie Despicable Me is a representation of our family because he's the big bald guy who got to marry the skinny chick and adopt 3 children. So, sometimes Gotcha Day is us giving Dad a t-shirt with Groot on the front, and it's really fun and cute. And anyway, I was recently, well, I won't say recently, I've been doing this repeatedly. There's a lot of mixed messages in the world of adoption, especially adoption from foster care, that, Gotcha Day is not a celebration for our children, that it is not a celebration for their birth families, that it is a regular reminder of what was torn apart. And I've heard that argument, and I have felt guilty and ashamed of myself for encouraging Gotcha Day. And I have to tell you, even though we've canceled Mother's Day, my kids are great about prepping for Father's Day, but Mother's Day is too hard for them. However, Gotcha Day is still a celebration for our family, and I've decided that it's time for me and for you to stop reading posts and books, parenting trauma books, not stop reading them, but stop reading them and then verbally chastising yourself for getting it wrong. Okay, there's not a right answer for this other than Christ. There's not. What works for one family may not work for yours. What works for our family may not work for another family. And in fact, whenever we've adjusted our parenting to meet the expectations of friends, things go sideways. Okay? So stop it. Yes, there are things written by adoptees who say, don't celebrate Gotcha Day. Don't celebrate Adoption Day. If it doesn't work for your family, don't do it. If the week leading up to Gotcha Day is absolutely unbelievable turmoil, then your kids can't handle it. And maybe you can't either. If it becomes a fun way to celebrate being a family, we don't celebrate them being removed. We don't celebrate them being in a foster home for over 2 years. We're not celebrating that. We're celebrating that in the yuck of a fallen world, God took 2 people who couldn't make babies and took 3 children who needed a mama and daddy, and he brought us together. And God did that. Absolutely, without a doubt, he did that. So, your story will not match mine. Your story will not match the blogs. Your story will not match the parenting books, the seminars. This is all, you need to take it. And I think I've said before, when I say these things, it is because of something that the Lord has shown me as well. Okay, I'm passionate about this because these are hard lessons that I'm learning, and I'm just passing on to you, okay? These are all good resources. These are all helpful tips. These are all things that you may try. But if it does not work, it is not because you are a parenting failure. When your child freaks out and you, in an overwhelming snowball of sinful flesh and fallen world and losing sight of your identity, and you just, maybe you yell, I've had enough of this. You cannot walk away and say, I am a bad parent because my child was communicating something through his actions and I shut that down. Okay? You learned. Next time, maybe you won't shut it down. Okay? I have to learn this for myself too. Our kids make bad choices. They don't think of them as bad choices. You don't think my son wakes up in the morning, well, at least I hope not. I don't think he wakes up in the morning and before he gets out of bed says, what can I do today to piss off my mom? Sorry, that's a swear word for any of you. I don't think he does that. I think he wakes up some mornings and he doesn't understand the feelings that he's experiencing aside from hormones. Oh my gosh, kids, a little break about hormones. But he's not looking to ruin your life, but he may think you're looking to ruin his life. And it hurts when my child cries into his hands about how he wishes he just had normal parents and that we have ruined his life because he has to clean the chicken coop. Okay, there's a very obvious disconnect there that makes sense to him, but not to us. And my husband and I recently spent way too much time while he was in that state trying to get him to see logically. And that was dumb. That doesn't mean that we're failures as parents. That doesn't mean that God looks negatively on this beautiful situation he's given us. It means we forgot that this kid can't think logically when front part of his brain is not accessible. Okay, so stop it. So we have Gotcha Day. And this year, I forgot. Although that was when I thought today was the 10th. So maybe my kids will give me a little break. And I was taking them to guitar lessons. And I said, oh, by the way, happy Gotcha Day. And they said, what? And I'm like, June 10th. It's Gotcha Day. Oh, yeah, huh. And I'm like, we didn't really plan anything. Ice cream. That was the first thing they heard. Ice cream. Because it's something fun. Now, I made plans for Gotcha Day quickly, thinking that it was today. And I told them already, so now I can't take it back. So we're going to celebrate Gotcha Day today with a friend over and copious amounts of ice cream. So there's my lecture off the top of my head, but truly from my heart, from what I seek from the Holy Spirit to help me see. So we'll get into the reading. I believe that we are on page 63. I can't remember if I read this to you all or if I just read it to myself, because I was at a track meet reading through some of these things while my kids were racing because I didn't want to stumble over my own reading. So if I've done this before, it's just bonus, and I'll make sure we're on track for next time. So, page 63, out of control. I've been noticing that I fidget a lot and sniffle a lot when I watch my videos, so I'm going to try not to do either of those, okay? Out of control. Scripture comes from Daniel chapter 9, verse 9. Compassion and forgiveness belong to the Lord our God, though we have rebelled against him. Sink that in a little bit. I think I'm even going to read it again. Compassion and forgiveness belong to the Lord our God, though we have rebelled against him. Fidget. The third time my daughter ran away from home, she was only 8. It came after correcting her about table manners, something minor in a traditional family setting. In our house, every correction can mean danger and rejection. It doesn't matter how much we affirm that there is nothing they can do to make us send them away, our kids still panic after almost 6 years. A raised voice, an irritated sigh, a sharp correction is as frightening to them as if we were charging at them with a weapon. And yeah, that's a true experience for my kids. My son has before, in his illogical panic about a relatively small situation, has hidden in a thicket of raspberries with his grandpa's old fold-up military shovel. And when I found him, what's going on? Well, I'm just hiding. Why are you hiding? Well, I thought you'd be mad at me. Okay, well, you got the shovel in case you want to hurt me. Okay, I've never hurt my kids. But his brain says, in case you want to hurt me, I've got this weapon, which is a shovel. Okay, so they see you coming at them with weapons, even when there aren't any weapons in your hands. Okay, that's not something you're doing, it's something they're believing. I know this, I observe this, yet even still, I lose my cool. Knowing myself full well, on this particular day, my correction probably went something like, why do we have to do battle over the tiniest things around here? And after those words left my mouth, I walked away. Somehow, my daughter heard my words more like, if you can't even get your table manners right, then I don't want you anymore. You are ruining our otherwise perfect family. No exaggeration. I know this because of the note she left. I'm sorry I keep messing up our family. I think you will all be better off without me. My animal-loving little girl had decided she would go live with the calves at the dairy farm next door. Thankfully, we can chuckle a little about it now. But on that day, she was dead serious. We found her halfway between our house and the pasture. She had tried to wade through some brambles, but they grabbed her skin and hair and held her tight. Approaching the spot where she was struggling, bleeding, and sobbing, I was so angry. It would have felt good to yell at her and remind her of all the ways she had put herself in danger. Perhaps I could scare her into never running away again. But instead, once I saw her predicament, I pulled her to me and cried, and she cried. I told her, what can I do to make you see just how much I love you? She didn't answer, probably because she didn't know the answer. We've grown much in our relationship since that day. Yes, we have continued to struggle. There have been times when she has been annoyed with me or when I have been irritated with her. But parents must be ready to apologize when they're in the wrong. And she has been quick to ask me over and over to affirm my love for her. Truthfully, I can't do it, at least not on my own. Not without allowing Christ, who lives in me, to live through me. It all works much better when it's done like that. How many hard moments have escalated into horrible moments because you lost your cool? How many times have you dug your feet in and refused to budge, determined to win at least one battle? I'm not going to count mine. Peeking out the window, I hear big trucks on a private street. All right. Reflections. Our anger comes from fear. In our fear of failing as parents, we choose anger because it feels so much more powerful than fear. What are you afraid of? What makes you angry? What if you didn't have to fight anymore because you let Jesus have the fear and control? I'm going to read the prayer and probably sign off rather quickly because, oops, wrong gotcha day. And now I've got some kidlets waiting for a trip to the ice cream store. So I'm going to say the prayer, and I'm going to encourage you to comment, ask questions, send messages through the messenger if you you want to keep that private. I'm trying to not yell. Share with me your prayer requests. I pray for the requests on the lists. And I've had a few comments in my videos, like after the fact, where do I get this book? How do I get this book? So I'm going to try to learn how to add links in the comments. Hopefully, in the meantime, you can go to my Facebook page, and if you click shop now, it will go straight to my Amazon page. If you go to BethAnnNagel.com and you click there on shopping, that too will take you directly to my Amazon page. I have somewhere links for Barnes & Noble for those of you who aren't Amazon fans. But also, if this is I don't buy online, I don't have $15 for a book, please send me a message. I want to make sure a book gets into your hands. I have had some people in the past who have tried to pay it forward when I've handed them a book when they couldn't afford it, and then when the time came that they could afford the $15, they have donated that for the next person who needs a book. Okay? Don't try to do this alone. Christ is in you, Christ is through you, but he's in me and through me as well. So we are a community of Christ followers. Forgiving God, I admit that I can become so irritable with my children, especially as they struggle through the muck of their early lives. The word is clear that irritability is not love. Forgive me. Rather than be irritable, teach me to be imperturbable. Remind me that in the depths of their behavior lies a pain so sharp only you can understand and heal. Give me what I need to carry them to you, no matter how difficult. If you are someplace where you can maybe take today easy, give yourself some grace, do it. That's all for now. You are loved. I love you. God loves you. And I will see you next time.